Hello friends, today in this video I will be covering the provisions of dormant company under Companies Act 2013. Before starting the video, I request you people to take your note and pen so that your notes will be useful for your exams. Come, let's get into the video. What is the meaning of dormant in general? Dormant means something that is not active or not growing, but it has the ability or capacity to be active. So, dormant means as of now it is inactive, but it may be active in future. Then what is the meaning of dormant company as per the Companies Act 2013? As per section 455 of the Companies Act, where a company is formed and registered under the Companies Act 2013 for a future project or to hold an asset or intellectual property and has no significant accounting transactions, such a company or an inactive company may make an application to the registrar seeking the status of dormant company. Let me explain this definition in detail. Who can file the application for obtaining the status of dormant? A company that is registered under the Companies Act 2013 for a future project or to hold an asset or intellectual property and has no significant accounting transactions and an inactive company can file an application in form MSC 1 to the ROC. Now the question arises, what is an inactive company? Inactive company means a company which has not been carrying on any business or operation and has no significant accounting transactions during the last 2 financial years and has not filed any financial statement or annual returns during the last 2 financial years. Anyone notice that the word no significant accounting transactions has been used again and again. So, what is the meaning of significant accounting transaction? Significant accounting transaction means any transaction other than, this is important, other than the payment of fees by a company to the registrar, the payments made by it to fulfill the requirement of this act or any other law, allotment of shares to fulfill the requirement of this act, payment for maintenance of its office and records. If the company did any of these 4 transactions, then also it will be eligible to obtain the status of dormant. I hope that meaning of dormant company is clear now. Next is how to obtain the status of dormant. The dormant status can be obtained in 2 ways. One by suo motu application and another by the dormant by ROC. If the company meets the criteria which I mentioned earlier, that company may apply to the ROC in the prescribed form along with the prescribed fees. The second situation is if the company has not filed the financial statement or annual return for 2 financial years, then the ROC will consider that company as a dormant company. Now, what is the procedure for obtaining the dormant status? Please concentrate on my wordings. I am up to explain the procedure to obtain the dormant status. There are seven steps. Step 1. Company to call board meeting to fix the day, date, time and venue for the general meeting of members, to pass the special resolution, to make application to the ROC in order to obtain the dormant status. Second step is to obtain the statement of affairs from the auditor in order to know the financial position of the company at the time of passing special resolution. Step 3. Hold the general meeting as per the notice, and the notice shall mention that the proposed resolution as a special resolution. Step 4 is to pass the special resolution authorizing the directors to make application to ROC. Step 5. After passing the special resolution, company shall file it in the e-form MGT 14. Step 6. Company shall file MSC 1 along with the copy of special resolution, statement of affairs, declaration of directors, and also with other important documents. On being satisfied, the ROC will issue the certificate in the form MSC 2. Then there are some prerequisites that are required to obtain the status of dormant company. The registrar shall not grant the status of dormant company if any inspection, inquiry, or investigation has been ordered or taken up or carried against the company. Any prosecution which has been recently initiated or it is still pending against the company under any law. If the company has received any public deposits and are outstanding either the principal or the interest thereon. If there is any outstanding loans, whether it may be secured or unsecured. If the company has any outstanding unsecured loan, then the company has to get the NOC, which means no objection certificate, from the lender, and the NOC is also attached to the form, and the certificate mentioning that there is no dispute in the management or ownership is also should be attached with the form. If there are outstanding statutory taxes, dues, duties, or any other payables that are outstanding, the company has the default in the payment of its workmen's due, and if the company is the listed company. Are you thinking that by the active company is obtaining the dormant status? Let's check out the benefits and exemptions that are enjoyed by the company in dormant status. A dormant company shall hold only 2 board meetings in a year with a gap of 90 days between 2 meetings. Normally, the active company should hold at least 4 board meetings in a year. Dormant company is not required to include cash flow statement in its financial statement. Simple logic here is there is no significant accounting transaction in the dormant company. So what is the need to include the cash flow statement there? Rotation of auditor is not applicable in case of dormant companies. As compared to the active company, the dormant companies have low compliance cost. This is an advantage for the promoter to hold an intellectual property under a corporate shield, which will strongly protect his right in the intellectual property. And the company can enjoy the status of dormant company for 5 consecutive years from the date of being dormant. Being enjoying all these benefits, there is also some few compliance requirements to be complied by the dormant company. As same like the active company, the dormant company shall have the minimum number of directors. That is, in case of public company, 3 directors, private company, 2 directors, and 1-person company, 1 directors. Dormant companies should file the annual return in form MSC 3 within 30 days from the end of financial year. The dormant company has to convene at least 1 board meeting in each half of the calendar year, which means only 2 board meetings in the financial year. and if there is any change in the directors or the allotment of securities has been made, it should be intimated to the ROC. Friends, remember that the dormant company can be in dormant status for the maximum period of 5 consecutive years from the date of being dormant. So, at the end of the 5th year, the company has to decide for whether to activate the company or not. And if the company has not applied for activation within 5 years, then the ROC will strike off the name of the company from the register of companies. Strike off is the another concept that we will discuss in the upcoming chapters. As of now, we will concentrate on how to activate the company. This is a simple procedure. The application in Form MSC 4 along with the fees and the annual return which is filed in the previous financial year should be filed. If the registrar is satisfied with the application, he will give the certificate of active status in Form MSC 5. A small help from my side is I listed important forms related to the dormant company so that it will be useful for you while reading. We came to the end of this video. I try my best to cover all the procedures and aspects of dormant company. By mistake, if I miss any topic, kindly let me know in the comment section. And if you are new to the channel, I will be posting the ICSA lectures and contents completely in English. Kindly do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of my videos and share my content to your friends. See you all in the next video. Thank you.